The numbers from 2024 paint a stark picture. For many small business owners, the path to a bank loan is a road paved with rejection. Data shows that banks turn away the vast majority of small business applications, with some reports indicating around 80% are denied. This is not a new problem, but it is a difficult one. The dream of securing capital to grow a business often collides with the harsh reality of a closed door. Many entrepreneurs get only partial approval, receiving less money than they need to truly scale. This leaves them in a difficult middle ground, with just enough funding to survive, but not enough to thrive. The situation is even more challenging for the newest ventures. Startups represent the future, yet are judged by the metrics of the past. To understand why so many loans are denied, we must look inside the bank's decision-making engine. Most traditional lenders rely on risk models that are decades old in their design. These models are built on a simple three-pillar foundation. Pillar 1, long and stable financial history, several years of tax returns and profit and loss statements, showing consistent revenue and profitability. A track record that proves you have successfully managed money in the past. This approach is logical, but it heavily favors established, slow-growing businesses over new, dynamic ones. Pillar 2, collateral, real estate, expensive equipment, large inventory. For a bank, a loan backed by a physical building is much less risky than one backed only by an idea. The model asks a simple question. If everything goes wrong, what can we sell to get our money back? This asset-heavy approach worked well. Startups are the antithesis of what old banking models are designed to approve. Consider a new software company. It may have a brilliant team and a revolutionary product, but it likely has zero revenue in its first year. Under the old rules, no revenue means no history of profitability, which is an immediate red flag. The company is probably burning through cash to pay its developers and marketers. To a traditional risk model, this negative cash flow looks identical to that of a failing business. The model cannot distinguish between strategic investment in growth and a genuine inability to control costs. It sees only red ink. Furthermore, most tech startups are asset-light. Their most valuable possessions are not buildings or machines, but intangible assets like code, intellectual property, and brand recognition. You cannot easily put a lien on a block of code. When the bank says no, the journey isn't over. Founders have a growing number of alternative funding paths, each with its own trade-offs. Venture capital offers large sums for rapid growth, but VCs demand significant ownership and a board seat, creating pressure to scale at all costs. Angel investors offer smaller amounts and mentorship, but still take equity. Crowdfunding can validate a product and build community by raising small amounts from many people online. The high cost of outdated systems and the path forward. The reliance on outdated risk models carries a steep price for entrepreneurs and for banks. For founders, a lack of funding is a primary cause of business failure. Many promising startups shut down not because their idea was flawed, they ran out of cash before reaching profitability or securing the next round. This is a tremendous loss of potential innovation, jobs, and economic value. For every startup that fails due to funding shortfalls, countless ideas are never pursued because entrepreneurs see daunting financial hurdles. Banks also pay a price for their conservatism. By rejecting the next generation of high-growth companies, they miss relationships with future corporate giants. A turned-away startup today may be a billion-dollar company in a decade. By then, it will have deep ties with alternative lenders, modern financial technology firms, and investment banks. The traditional bank that said no will be left outside, missing deposit accounts, treasury services, future loans. The solution requires a fundamental shift in how banks think about risk. Move from a backward-looking approach to a forward-looking and dynamic approach. This means incorporating new types of data into their models. Analyze the experience and the track record of the founding team. Use market data to evaluate the size of the opportunity. Measure customer love and engagement with Net Promoter Scores. Cohort retention rates. Negative cash flow in year 2 isn't always failure. it can be aggressive investment in growth. Some banks are waking up, investing in AI-powered platforms that analyze wider data in real time. These modern systems can identify promising companies that older models discard. For founders, a rejection often reflects the bank's limitations, not your company's potential. For banks, update your playbook or risk becoming a relic. When risk models catch up to innovation, capital finds its best ideas.